Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the MLB DFS Slate breakdown for Thursday, August 14th. We have a 5-game slate on both sites. Should be an interesting one. Looks like we're going to have some chalky Colorado, but we will get into all of that shortly. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann, and come join us at LineStar. If you have not already tried us out, take a peek for free. Come try us out. We have a bunch of different ways you can try us out, and it gives you access to the props, the DFS, the best ball. You get it all. You can have a 7-day free trial through the app stores, Android or iOS. Download us there and give us a try. Now, let's get up to it. Mad Max Dixon, what is up, Ty? Thursday, and I see some great plays on the board. Yes, there absolutely are some good ones. It's an interesting day. As always, we will start off by going through the perfect lineups and the winning lineups from yesterday, and then we will jump in to the pitchers to consider and stacks for the day. Let's go. Let's get after it. It's going to be a fun one. And let's get over to these perfect lineups here. Starting with FanDuel, we got Cade Horton, who went perfect as far as the perfect lineup goes. He just had himself a day. He was one guy that we did talk about as, somebody that was intriguing, but the issue was how many pitches he was going to go. He only went 82 pitches, but he was efficient, went 5.2, 1 earned run, had 8 Ks. Our pay-up pitchers failed, and it gave Horton a good shot. Then the Miami Marlins just went absolutely nuts. They Marcy, 69.9. Edwards went nuts. Paulie went nuts. Then we had a 2-man Dodger stack, a 2-man Brave stack, and happy to say the Dodgers still lost, and the Padres have a 1-game lead in the NL West. Gotta love that. And we got another Junior Cam bomb. The late bomb from him unfortunately knocked me out of a takedown yesterday, but hey, it happens. We live to fight another day. Another top 5 finish for me, but we'll talk about that in a minute. 258.4 was that perfect lineup score. 34-1 salary used, and the winning lineup went to HPJJ, who had Gilbert. They had a 4-man Miami stack and a 3-man Tampa with the Dodgers one-off. 280.8 was that score. And the wild thing with him is he had a ton of lineups very close to the top. So he had 3 or 4 in the top 10, another 22. And, it was just all over the board. Oh, sorry. He had 5 in the top 10. And then another one. My 4th place, I had first for a majority of the night last night. But that late Camarino home run just did me in. I had that Miami stack, 4-man Miami, 4-man Mets. So it was the 4-4. And unfortunately, Cedric Mullins just didn't give me much punch to end the night. And the J-Cam bomb or late TB stack just did enough to knock me out there. So let's get over to DraftKings perfect lineup. We got Joe Ryan. We got Cade Horton. We got a 2-man Cubs stack, 2-man Rays, 3-man Braves here. So interesting lineup here. We got with a 3-2-2 and a 1-off, with the winning lineup going to Ski JMB with 195. They won by almost 11. Had Hunter Brown, had Joe Ryan. So 2 pay-up options, still getting it done. And it's just, they got different with their lineup. 4-man Atlanta stack, 2-man Braves, Two-man Houston, 4-2-2, got it done. Congrats to Ski JMB. And let's jump it on over to the fun and figure out what we're going to do on today's 5-game slate. As always, let me know if there's anything you want me to have a look at while we are breaking down this beautiful slate. Starting on DraftKings, our high-owned pitchers, we got Senega. He's 8,900. We have a projection of 17. Consensus is 15. I unfortunately kind of have to roll with the consensus a little bit more on this one. He just has not been very good lately. 4.29 FIP over his last 20, 7.17 over the last 5. K rate's been down. The walks have been way up. 7.1 walks per 9 over the last 5. He is much better at home. If you see the top of the screen right here, almost 46% more fantasy points at home. But he has been on struggle street lately. And with these control issues, I am very wary of wanting to play Senega. His StatCast data has looked okay, a little bit too much hard contact, but all in all, it's okay. The splits have been, are just kind of moderate. Outside of his control issues and this elevated FIP, which also is probably due to the control issues, I don't mind going there. But with him having this much difficulty finding the plate and the strike zone, I really worry. 3 walks in 4.1, 3 walks in 4, 5 walks in 5, 3 walks in 3 innings. It's just been happening to him a ton over the last 2 months, and I struggle to get there. If he can get those walks down, he does have the ceiling to get it done, but going high owned and, with a decent track record now of struggling with this, I just can't get there. Next, we got Jesus Luzardo, 8.4K. I'm going to just say that is way too cheap for him. We got him at a 19-point projection. Consensus is also 19. And the ceiling is sky high with him. He only won 82 pitches last time out, which was his second outing coming back from the IL. I would expect him to have a little longer leash today. And it's a guy that has a 3.35 FIP over his last 20 starts with a 25% K rate. I don't really care about getting into the last 5 data just because he's only had 2 starts since coming back. His StatCast data has been okay over that span. But Washington has struggled versus lefties. 219 average, 289 WOBA, 160 ISO, 26% K rate. There is major upside here at only mid-8s price tag and 25% combined K rate. Give me some Luzardo. I think he is one of the better plays in the day. Next, we got Scooball, 26-point projection, 24 consensus, just sky high. He's got 7 points on Luzardo. That is just a major difference. Now, he is priced at almost 12K, so you got to pay up for it, but it is absolutely one of the premier spots. It may be a little bit hard to get him and to stack Colorado, though. That is one little issue there. But 1.92 FIP over his last 20, 3.12 over the last 5. K rate sky high. That was a lot of fly balls, but that doesn't matter. And Minnesota has just not been very good lately. Give me all the Scooble I can possibly get today. I definitely am going to want some pay up bats, but I'll just pay down at the other spot. Scooble just gives you too much ceiling and too high of a floor not to consider and not to have some of him. Next, we got Tanner Bybee, 7,700. Look, the ceiling is there for him. 4.3 FIP, 22% K rate. He's better at home, averaging 23% more fantasy points at home. His StatCast data is okay. A little bit too much hard contact, and Miami is hitting the ball very, very well. But on this slate, we're going to have to figure out, how to attack it. There's only 5 slates or only 5 games, and I'm going to want to figure out how to get a little different. He is going a little too high owned for me today. So with that, I don't mind playing some of these Miami bats. Like yesterday, Gavin Williams is boom bust. Tanner Bybee is the same. I don't mind trying to play into some leverage. Now, I think Miami is going to be much higher owned today than they were yesterday after that explosion and just recency bias, people going there. But this is a spot that I don't mind playing both sides. These boom bust pitcher spots are very interesting to me always. Look, 4 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 4, 5, and then hits you with a 0. He also has that 10 strikeout game upside. So I'm interested. There's the strikeout upside is there. It's just, can he limit those runs today? Which it's a tall task against a hot hitting Miami team, but I don't mind having some at 7,700. The price is cheap for the ceiling. That's why he's still 27% owned. Now, let's get into some pivots. Pivots I wanted was Brad Lord, 6,300. Frankly, the guy has been dealing 3.43 FIP over his 20, 3.78 over the last 5. K rate's low. Statcast data is great. Philly hits the ball hard, so you got to worry about the home run, but they also strike out at 24%. I don't mind having a little bit of Lord at 6,300. I do think there is some upside there. It's obviously a super scary play, but you can go with him and Skubal, and you can still pay up for some bats. My next pivot I need to talk about is Edward Cabrera. I absolutely love the combo of Luzardo and Cabrera together. Cabrera going low owned, been absolutely dealing lately. 3.66 FIP over the 20, but 2.81 over the last 5 with a 29% K rate. While I don't think that 2.81 FIP will continue forever, think he comes back down to earth sometime soon. I'm going to stay in the flames while he's low owned and hope it can go for another day versus a Cleveland team that has been hitting well, but there is upside in this matchup, and 25.8% combined K rate at 8,700. You pair that with Luzardo, and it is a very interesting combination with big upside, and you're not breaking the bank at pitcher. Don't mind going that way. Now let's get over to FanDuel. Check out what we got over here. Obviously, 11K Skubal with the projection difference is going to be very, very hard to get away from. I don't mind just eating the chalk and going there, but Luzardo is a very, very solid pivot option and coming in much less owned. Half the ownership is what we have right now, and that actually might end up even less than half the ownership. If I'm not going with him, Cabrera at 8,900 or that upside of Bybee is super interesting. And then can Senega figure out his if he can figure out his control today, the upside on him at 8,200 is right there with Luzardo. Not quite Skubal levels, but Luzardo levels he can do. I think those 3 are pivot options I don't mind taking on FanDuel, but much prefer Bybee or Cabrera over Senga. And personally, I'm not going Bailey Ober, but if you want to, I get it. But this 5.2 FIP, 6.35 FIP numbers are enough to take me off versus Detroit lineup that seems to be waking up, and he's allowing a lot of fly balls. So I'm out on that one. Now let's get over to the stack attacks to round this out and see what we got. So Arizona, no surprises, the absolute highest owned stack of the day, as they should. We got a 12.5 game total. It's like mid 80s, winds blowing out. They look great. We got high projection. The consensus projection is high. The ceiling is high. everything but leverage is high on this in this spot. And then they're facing Blaylock, who just isn't good. Then you get past him, and it's an awful bullpen. Makes a ton of sense. I also like Colorado. Arizona has an awful bullpen behind Erod, and Erod's been getting blown up. So I like that spot also. Splits are also in the favor of the Arizona Diamondbacks here. So I think that's a very interesting play I'm going to have a lot of. We go to the highest projected. Arizona's all over it also. No big surprise there. Our highest value, we got Miami and Washington. Now, Miami stacks as far as value, I'm all in. I think Bybee can get blown up, so I don't mind having some of them as well. Like I said, I want to play both sides. Washington versus Luzardo, I'm probably not going to do too much of that one. Now, let's click the high ceiling. We got Miami, Atlanta, and the Mets. Mets popping up versus Bryce Elder. I absolutely have some interest. He has been pitching a little bit better lately, but it's Bryce Elder. He's just not that good. And then Atlanta versus Senga. If Senga struggles with his location again, there's going to be free runners on the base, which just adds the ability for bigger games. So absolutely have some interest on picking on that 7.17 FIP. And let's hit the leverage button. We got Miami, Detroit, Washington popping up. Or sorry, Minnesota, not Miami. Minnesota versus Skubal. Obviously, there's leverage in this play. Skubal is going to be incredibly high owned on all formats. If they get to Skubal, you have a great chance of getting a takedown. But my issue is it's not often that on a Skubal day, you're going to get 7-8 runs. And that's just the chance you're taking. If you are playing 150 lineups, or even say 75 lineups, I don't mind a couple Minnesota stacks just because of that leverage. It's also not a bad idea, if you're going to play 40, 50% Skubal, to have 5-10% Minnesota stacks just in case he gets blown up. So I don't mind some, but I'm not going to go heavy on him. And if you're going with one lineup, I probably wouldn't go Minnesota. Detroit versus Bailey Ober. Sign me up. Bailey Ober has not been good. 6.35 FIP and a 5.2 over the last 20. And Detroit bats, I do think, are waking up a little bit. So I have some interest there. Now let's click the teams tab, see what we got for rest of everything. Arizona, 6.9 implied run total. Just gigantic. It's going to be very hard to get off them today. There's a ton of things going in their favor. Colorado also at 5.6. Super high. I think Colorado and Arizona are the clear top stacks. But don't forget about Atlanta. Don't forget about the Mets. Both make a lot of sense. Philadelphia, I do think their implied run total is probably a little higher than it should be versus Brad Lord. He is kind of a sneaky good pitcher recently. Reliever earlier this season, turned starter. Recently, there's been some success with teams doing that, and it appears that Washington might be doing the same. Detroit, don't sleep on them. I think they're super interesting, as well as Miami. Poe DeGen Stoner, baseball and bong rip season continues from Garden City, Colorado. You're very welcome for my time. Thank you for showing up day in and day out. I very much appreciate it. And like he said, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. It helps us out a ton just to improve our reach and bring people to our platform to help our small company grow. I appreciate it, DeGen. Now, that's about it for today. If you guys have any questions, hit them with me quick. I think it's an interesting slate. These 5-game slates are fun. You definitely need to lean into some leverage and figure out where you can get it a little different. Also today, don't forget to check the weather as we get a little bit closer. There's pop-up showers around Washington, pop-ups pops ups in Baltimore today. It's a similar situation in Washington, and we definitely need to watch it. There's chances of delay in Colorado, but I think that game plays. All in all, as always, make sure the weather looks okay before we play some baseball here and lock these lineups in. And clearly, the best hitting weather on the night is in Colorado. That'll do it for us today, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll be back in probably about 30-45 minutes with the props video. We've been crushing it over there. See y'all later. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Share it with your friends. Talk to y'all later. Bye.